Vilified by some, celebrated by others. Tonight, people across the West reflect on the death of one of America's most polarizing figures, O.J. Simpson.
We have never seen an athlete have such a fall from grace, and nothing, even his exceptional athletic prowess, it was eclipsed by what became the trial of the century.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. O.J. Simpson's family says he died surrounded by children and grandchildren after battling cancer. The football star's double murder trial gripped the nation and sparked heated debate about race, fame, and privilege. We begin tonight's coverage of his life with Fox 11's Marla Tejas, who takes a look back at some of the key moments from O.J. Simpson's life.
O.J. Simpson had it all. After winning the Heisman Trophy at USC, he became one of pro football's greatest running backs. Simpson parlayed such stardom into a successful acting career, but his fall from grace began in June 1994.
Mr. Simpson is a fugitive of justice right now.
A low-speed police pursuit on the freeways and streets of L.A. drew the eyes of the world to a white Bronco with Simpson inside, a televised media spectacle that some 95 million people watched live. He was charged with double murder for the brutal killings of ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ronald Goldman. What came next? A trial that captivated the nation and a verdict that drew a divisive reaction.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder.
While cleared of murder charges in criminal court, Simpson was found liable in a civil trial and ordered to pay $33.5 million in punitive and compensatory damages to the Brown and Goldman families. Over the years, the story of O.J. Simpson has generated a tide of tell-all books, movies, studies, and even debate over questions about race relations and celebrity culture. Simpson himself even sold a 2006 book titled If I Did It, and gave a hypothetical account of murders he had always denied committing. But Simpson ultimately went to prison in 2008. He was found guilty of armed robbery and kidnapping after he and a group of men broke into a Las Vegas hotel room and took sports memorabilia that Simpson claimed belonged to him. After serving 9 years of a 33-year sentence, he was released on parole in 2017. In the years that followed, Simpson became known for posting videos on social media, and it was social media where his death was announced by his family. Posting on X, they say he died from cancer at age 76, surrounded by his children and grandchildren.
And that was Fox 11's Marla Tejas reporting tonight. Attorney Gloria Allred, who represented Nicole Brown Simpson's family, put out a statement saying, quote, Simpson's death reminds us that the legal system, even 30 years later, is still failing battered women, and that the power of celebrity men to avoid true justice for the harm that they inflict on their wives or significant others is still a major obstacle to the right of women to be free of the gender violence to which they are still subjected. The father of Ron Goldman also issued a statement saying, quote, the only thing I have to say is it's just further reminder of Ron being gone all these years. It's no great loss to the world. It's a further reminder of Ron's being gone. And as Marla mentioned, after his release from a Nevada prison following that robbery conviction, Simpson used social media to connect with the public. Fox 5's Mike Davis reports tonight that he commented on everything from his troubled past to sports, and it offered a glimpse into his later years of life.
Hey, Twitter world, this is yours truly.
Since being released from a Nevada prison in 2017,
for years, people have been able to say whatever they want to say about me with no accountability.
O.J. Simpson attempted to stay relevant using social media as a tool to offer insights not only in the world of football.
I hope your team win if your team is the 49ers.
But also on hot topics in the social world.
That's the American way. Not what we think or what we want. I've had my share of trials. I had a trial here in Las Vegas that I did not agree with the decision at all. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was wrong. But I accepted it. I didn't complain. Telling me, Juice, come on, fantasy, you got to draft a running back first. And normally I would go along with that, except in the case of Patrick Mahomes. Hey, Swirl, it's me, yours truly, at my normal haunt for Sunday. It's kind of empty now. I wonder why. Maybe Dallas or the Raiders aren't playing until this afternoon. Those are the guys that come here wearing their uniforms loud. Well, it's been a while. You know, I've been dealing with issues, but I am healthy now and I am ready to go. And I'm hosting a ton of friends for the Super Bowl here in Las Vegas. All is well, you know. Hey, good luck to you all. God bless. Take care.
Mike Davis, Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas.
TMZ's Harvey Levin covered Simpson's murder trial, and he says following Simpson's life taught him a lot. He opened up about that today in a video on social media.
O.J. Simpson really helped me understand the concept of celebrity, because for so long after the trials, I was just amazed and angered, you know, as my friend Dominic Dunn was, who covered this trial, that O.J. Simpson became kind of a folk hero to a lot of people. Then in Las Vegas, a steady stream of people would come up to him wanting to take pictures with him. And I couldn't understand it. I couldn't process it. Now I can. That infamy and fame have blended so in our society that there is no distinction between the two. And O.J. Simpson taught me that lesson.
And you can see more on how Simpson's death is impacting people across the West at our website. That's westcoastwrap.com. Our online coverage includes reaction from the Bay Area, where O.J. Simpson grew up. Today, federal prosecutors in Los Angeles announced charges against Shohei Ohtani's former interpreter. He's accused of stealing $16 million from the Dodgers superstar to pay off gambling debts. As Fox 11's Christy Fajardo reports tonight, authorities say there is no evidence that Ohtani knew about the actions of his longtime friend and interpreter.
I'm very saddened and shocked that someone who I'm trusted has done this.
A federal investigation now confirming what Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani has been saying for weeks. He is the victim of massive bank fraud, allegedly at the hands of his longtime friend and now former interpreter Ippei Mizuhara.
In total, Mr. Mitsuhara stole over $16 million from Mr. Ohtani's account in order to pay for these illegal sports bets.
The feds say they stumbled on Mizuhara as part of a nationwide illegal betting investigation, and that agents discovered the interpreter helped Ohtani set up a bank account, then refused to turn over details to the baseball player's financial advisors, hiding millions in wire transfers to cover his mounting gambling debts.
Mr. Ohtani, as I mentioned, has been established as a victim in this case. I want to be clear that Mr. Ohtani has cooperated fully and completely in this investigation. He's not only spoken to investigators, he's provided access to his digital devices, to his personal information to ensure that justice was done in this case.
The feds say messages going back years never once show Ohtani discussing or authorizing payments, but did show Mizuhara admitting to a bookie he was stealing from Ohtani, and that all the winnings were deposited in Mitsuhara's personal accounts. What's more, investigators say bank recordings featured Mizuhara impersonating the superstar to greenlight large transfers. But Mitsuhara may have been telling the truth about one thing.
The bets do not appear to have been made on the sport of baseball.
And now fans who come to snap photos of the Ohtani mural in Little Tokyo feel the cloud is lifted over Dodger Stadium.
It's also relieving to hear that it's sort of the federal investigation for me. If it was just the MLB's investigation that was showing it, they kind of have a horse in the race. But yeah, it's nice to see that the federal investigation kind of confirmed what I was thinking.
And that was Fox 11's Christy Fajardo reporting tonight. Mizuhara faces up to 30 years in prison if he's convicted on those charges. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, a homeowner's bold move caught on camera tonight. What happened when he confronted someone rummaging through his car? Plus,
we're here to get you out. Come on, let's go.
An officer responding to a domestic violence. Shots were fired from inside the house.
some scary looking moments here, but it's all staged. We'll show you how these drills are preparing SWAT teams for worst case scenarios.
And here's our live camera this evening in Phoenix, a current temperature of 89 degrees. Some cooler temperatures across parts of the West Coast over the next few days. In fact, we're talking about some rain increasing as well. We'll have the update coming up.
Wild ring camera video has surfaced in Washington tonight. It shows a Puyallup homeowner confronting someone he found rummaging through his truck last night. He struggled with this person as someone else in a getaway car waited just a few feet away. The driver of that car eventually hit the homeowner, who ended up on the hood of the car. Then the car kept moving and collided with the truck here in the driveway. Those suspects got away as the homeowner appeared to grab his phone to capture some more images of them. There are no reports tonight of any arrests being made in this case. Vice President Kamala Harris has added a stop in Nevada to her upcoming West Coast trip. Today, the White House announced she is planning to be in Las Vegas on Monday to highlight the impact of the bipartisan Safer Communities Act. That legislation passed in 2022, and it toughened background checks for young gun buyers and made it easier for authorities to take weapons from people deemed dangerous. A new rule tied to the legislation was announced today. It makes clear anyone who sells firearms predominantly to earn a profit must be federally licensed. And tomorrow, the vice president is going to be in Arizona. She will take her Fight for Reproductive Freedoms tour to Tucson, and of course, we will have coverage of that. Today in Arizona, jurors in the murder trial of a rancher visited the scene of the shooting. They took a court trip to George Kelly's 170-acre cattle ranch, which is outside of Nogales. That's where the prosecution alleges Kelly shot and killed a migrant who crossed the border illegally in 2023. Kelly maintains he only fired a single warning shot at a group of migrants on his property. If he's convicted, he could face life in prison. Coachella Music Festival organizers say they are ready to welcome crowds back to the Southern California desert. This year's festival in Indio gets underway tomorrow. And of course, they always draw huge crowds. Headliners over the 2 weekends include Lana Del Rey, Doja Cat, and Tyler, the Creator. People who are showing up tomorrow do need to be prepared for a hot start to this festival. It is going to be warm in the Coachella Valley. KTVU meteorologist Mark Tamayo joins us now with more on the festival forecast and a look at conditions across the west. Always toasty in the Palm Springs area.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. Tomorrow will be close to 90 degrees, but it looks like some cooler temperatures as we head toward the weekend. In fact, that'll be the theme for a lot of neighborhoods across the West Coast, cooling conditions by the weekend. Right now, as you can see, the main action is up in the Pacific Northwest. We're watching this circulation out here, so as we come in closer, some rain showers detected approaching portions of Washington, looks like near the coastline of Oregon as well. As we move into California, it is dry. We just have some patchy fog we are dealing with coast side. Now, rainfall will be increasing over the next several days, as you can see with the rainfall forecast model. You can see for Eureka, down towards San Francisco, and even the possibility down in Southern California as well. This was the scene today in Seattle. Lots of cloud cover in place, temperatures in the mid-50s. In San Francisco, looks like a summertime pattern with the fog out toward the Golden Gate Bridge. This was earlier this morning. Downtown San Francisco, 65. And then out in Los Angeles, LAX, temperature of 78 degrees. As you can see, some of the fog showing up in this picture as well in portions of Southern California. Current numbers right now, we do have Portland right now in the upper 50s, San Francisco 59, Las Vegas holding on to the 80s, 82 degrees. So here's the plan for your Friday. Some cloud cover up in the Seattle area for tomorrow. Temperatures will be in the 50s. Same for San Francisco. We'll have sunshine out toward Denver and then partly sunny skies for Los Angeles. We still have some 90s out in the Phoenix area for tomorrow. In Los Angeles, some areas of fog tomorrow morning, and then skies becoming partly sunny into the afternoon hours, and temperatures starting out the day in the 50s, on track to reach the mid to upper 60s during the afternoon hours. So here's the forecast model here. We are at Friday afternoon, 4 p.m., and we're tracking this system moving in from the north, so this will definitely send temperatures down over the next several days for portions of California. And look at this, out toward the Sierra, they could actually pick up some more snowfall as the system moves in. So this primarily as we head toward Saturday in the forecast, as things could become a little bit more active with the possibility of some thunderstorms. In the Sierra, this was a scene today. It was actually fairly mild with temperatures in the 60s, but going to feel like winter as we head towards Saturday with that snow coming down and temperatures cooling off into the mid-40s. So here is the forecast. As you can see over the next 3 days, a sun-cloud mix for Seattle. San Francisco, there is that rain cloud for your Saturday. There's a chance into Sunday, tracking some rain chances in Southern California. We'll have lots of sunshine out in Phoenix. Temperatures still on the hot side in the 90s, and then cooling things off as we head towards Sunday.
Yeah, kind of hard to believe we're headed toward a spring snowstorm.
There you go, yeah.
This weekend.
Does not want to quit, yeah.
Yeah, Mark, thank you. Crews working to prevent a dam failure in southwest Utah say they are making progress tonight. We told you about this story last night here on the show. Authorities believe cracks along the Panguitch Dam were caused by high water levels and ice pressure. The Garfield County Sheriff's Office shared images of crews building a buttress to fortify the dam. They're also doing trench work to give ice room to pull away from the dam. The dam's operators are releasing water to bring the reservoir levels down. That's to allow ice to expand and pull away. People in the surrounding area are still being warned tonight to prepare to potentially evacuate. Special weapons and tactics. Law enforcement officers with specific training in those areas make up SWAT teams all across the West. Tonight, Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf shows us what happened when he jumped into the middle of some of that training in Southern California.
Suiting up with LA County's top deputies.
Okay, I'm going to back up behind you.
Fox 11 exclusively with the department's Special Enforcement Bureau.
SWAT teams up, sitting, coming out to perform the rescue.
Realistic responses to high-risk scenarios designed to save lives.
So, Sheriff's Department, we're here to get you out. Come on, let's go.
It's not a hashtag that we put on our Instagram site. Saving lives is our priority. An officer responding to a domestic violence. Shots were fired from inside the house. Officer is wounded in the front seat of his vehicle.
Simulating an injured officer inside a patrol car.
So they're going to bring armor in, completely cut off his access and view to where the wounded officer is at.
This is what a shooter would see. They can't see anything.
They can't see rescue personnel. They can no longer see the injured deputy.
Bearcats used like moving bulletproof curtains.
We're good. Moving up to the down officer.
Completely hiding a swift rescue on the other side.
We're good. Back out, back out.
They're going to put themselves in harm's way, so our ability to take armor with us to protect us so no additional casualties occur.
We are on top of breaking news in San Gabriel, where police have been in a standoff for hours with a barricaded kidnapping suspect.
The county SWAT team consistently used in some of Southern California's most dangerous situations.
Look, we picked up the baby. Put him back down.
Suspects with guns, firing bullets, launching fireworks, even barricading themselves inside buildings, lighting them on fire.
It's basically an armored fire truck.
This 19,000-pound Firecat recently added to their fleet.
It holds a 300-gallon tank, and at full throttle, it depletes in about 2.5 minutes.
Designed for when there's a fire and someone shooting.
It's common for barricade suspects to light their house on fire, and then we can use this to defeat that fire without having to bring the fire department in and put their life at risk.
The location across the street is going to have 3 occupants that need to be evacuated.
Sheriff's Department, we're ready to get you out. Let's go.
The trained team also rescues civilians.
They'll put themselves in front of any hostile act for you and get you to safety.
All right, come on in.
Right now I'm getting evacuated. There's a simulated shooter across the street. Now I'm safe inside the armored truck.
Last one. Moving, moving.
Much safer in here.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely. Bulletproof. Military-like gear and guns deployed in neighborhoods for dangerous warrants.
We're seeing some of these Bearcats, some of these heavy machinery starting to come out of this neighborhood.
Intimidating assets some view as too much. They see the military-looking vehicles, they see the bulletproof, they see the guns. They think this is over the top.
People think it's over the top until they're on that side of the equation, and then it's not enough. I wear full body armor. There's times I wish I had more body armor. We are the last line. There's no one to call beyond us.
The highly trained team uses every tool they can, responding to emergencies across all 4,000 square miles of LA County.
Really have to have that mindset of we're going against that hard problem, and we need that armor to protect ourselves.
Reporting in East Los Angeles, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, an Oregon mountain being used to simulate conditions in space. Why it's an ideal place for a robot dog to train for future missions. Plus, a volunteer at a Sacramento museum is getting a lot of attention on social media. Why people all around the world are fascinated by videos of him using a printing press from the 1800s. A volunteer at the Sacramento History Museum is reaching people all over the world through social media. Fox 40's Kimberly Cruz shows us how Howard Hatch, now in his mid-80s, has gone viral just by doing his job.
If you're on social media of any kind, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, odds are you've probably come across one of these videos from the Sacramento History Museum.
I just don't get it.
It's videos like this one reaching millions of views and likes from people all around the world.
Numbers that I can't even get my head around anymore. I'm speechless.
The video showing Howard Hatch, the printer, well, just doing his job.
And that obviously is a coin key.
It was an idea that started during the pandemic.
I asked Howard, can I film you for TikTok? And he said, what's TikTok?
It was some crazy dance routines were the hot thing at that particular time. So I came back and told Jared, I said, I am not doing any of that crazy dancing stuff.
After being convinced it wouldn't involve any dancing, Jared started documenting Howard using this 1852 Washington hand press, capturing the process of an old school printing press while throwing out a couple of history facts and puns.
I'm learning from Howard, and the world is learning from Howard at the same time.
Fast forward to almost 4 years later, their social media accounts just keep growing.
We are now at over 3 million YouTube subscribers. So we are the most followed museum on TikTok and the most subscribed museum on YouTube.
There's been some instances where I've been recognized around Sacramento, even though I'm not dressed like this,
making the Sacramento History Museum the most followed museum on these platforms in the world. But for Howard and Jared, it's not about the fame or verified blue check marks. It's about sharing their passion and a little bit of Sacramento to people all around the world.
My name is Jared, and this is Howard, and we are
one video at a time.
It's something that I never would have thought would happen, but I am blessed to not only get to work with Howard a couple days a week, but we are able to share Sacramento with not just the people that visit our museum, but the people that will never be able to visit our museum in person.
In Sacramento, Kimberly Cruz.
All right, finally tonight, Oregon's Mount Hood has become a space exploration training ground. Here's a live look at the mountain's terrain. Some scientists say this is perfect to simulate the extreme conditions on the moon and Mars. They have a robot dog named Spirit who's walking across parts of the mountain. The idea is to teach the dog how to cope with difficult and changing conditions like going from snow to sand. The information they gather will help them determine how humans might respond. This research is being called the LASSIE Project. LASSIE stands for Legged Autonomous Surface Science in Analog Environments. Researchers from NASA and several universities are on the LASSIE team. That does it for West Coast Wrap tonight. We appreciate you watching. Have a great night.